Many Disney fans love finding Easter eggs in their favorite rides. Whether it be nods to previous attractions, secret references, or hidden Mickeys, it all shows the fun details Imagineers put into the parks. But what you may not know is that there's a secret society of characters from parks all around the world that help complete the immersive themed story across the parks. It all starts with legendary Disney Imagineer Tony Baxter's pitch for Discovery Bay at Disneyland in the early 80s.
Discovery Bay is kind of a once-only place in time. It's a Victorian place that occurred at the turn of the century. It's the kind of place that Jules Verne or H.G. Wells might have inhabited.
The story Baxter created revolved around the inventor character Jason Chandler, who created a drilling machine to help the miners at Big Thunder Mountain. After saving a group of miners trapped in the caves with his machine, an earthquake swallowed him up and he was never seen again. But it turns out Chandler survived and moved to Northern California to innovate and create machines to help mankind, honoring the visionaries of the past. Discovery Bay never came to be, but this concept later evolved into the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, or S.E.A. for short. Founded in 1538, the group invites scientists, travelers, and adventurers from around the world to come together to dedicate their lives to romance, adventure, innovation, and discovery, and members of the club can be found in attractions at parks around the world. Making its first appearance at Tokyo Disney Sea in the fortress explorations of the Mediterranean harbor, guests were introduced to sea in a large puzzle-solving attraction, as well as at the neighboring restaurant Magellan's. Before we get into the main members of the society, it's important to point out another major influence of S.E.A., the Adventurers Club. As an original club at Pleasure Island, it quickly became a fan favorite for its in-depth story and interactive experience. The club was very in line with the spirit of S.E.A., and is actually now referenced as a branch of the society. Now on to some of the characters. The original character of Discovery Bay, Chandler, is now known as the founder of S.E.A.'s. You can find references to Jason in the queue for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in Florida and in the Big Thunder comics by Marvel. You can also see luggage with his name on top of it in the stagecoach at the new Big Thunder Trails at Disneyland. Probably the most well-known members of the society, Henry Mystic and his monkey Albert are the stars of Mystic Manor at Hong Kong Disneyland. In the attraction, we enter Mystic Point and travel into Lord Mystic's manor to view his Mystic Magneto-electric carriages. Henry and Albert traveled around the world collecting artifacts, most notably a Balinese music box, which brings to life anything when opened. After we board our carriages, Albert opens the box and chaos ensues. Mystic Manor is the most popular attraction at Hong Kong Disneyland, and while their presence is still relatively new to the parks, they have already made a big impact in what some say is the best dark ride ever made.
I do hope you've enjoyed your visit to Mystic Manor. Cheerio!
When it came time to bring the popular attraction Tower of Terror to Tokyo Disney Sea, Imagineers decided to drop the Twilight Zone theme for the Japanese audience. Instead, they created an original story and decided to tie it into the new-at-the-time society. Instead of entering the Hollywood Tower Hotel, we are welcomed to New York's Hotel Hightower at the American waterfront, owned by new S.E.A. member Harrison Hightower III. While other members of the society traveled and explored for the good of mankind, Hightower was corrupt and often stole or obtained artifacts through illegal ways. Karma eventually caught up to him, though, when he stole the African idol Shirikia Tundu, who used its evil power to bring him to an end by crashing his elevator at the hotel in 1899. Hightower is actually modeled after Imagineer Joe Rohde, creator of Animal Kingdom and sea inspiration The Adventurers Club, and is referenced in Mystic Manor and at the Rohde-designed Hawaiian resort, Disney's Aulani. Mary Oceaneer was introduced in a portrait at Mystic Manor, but eventually made her way to the Oceaneer Labs on the Disney Cruise Line. Her popularity grew, and she eventually got her own attraction. Misadventure Falls opened in 2017 at Typhoon Lagoon, and tells the story of how Mary and her parrot, Salty, got shipwrecked at the park, and it is the first full sea attraction to open in the United States. Mary is modeled after Liana Zorn, a show programmer for Mystic Manor and other attractions. While Big Thunder Mountain Railroad has been the wildest ride in the wilderness since 1980, in 2013 the queue was completely redone. Along with multiple interactive elements, a new story was added that gave you a new look into the mines. The mining is now being done by Barnabas T. Bullion, owner of the Big Thunder Mining Company and member of S.E.A. The only real S.E.A. reference you'll find in the queue is a letter from the Society's founder, Jason Chandler, who reveals that he sold Barnabas his drilling machine, but warns him of the dangers of mining at Big Thunder Mountain. Like Hightower, Bullion is modeled after Imagineer who inspired S.E.A., Tony Baxter. If you've been on the Jungle Cruise before, you may remember this joke.
Up ahead is Schweitzer Falls, named after that famous explorer, Dr. Albert Falls, yeah!
It turns out that Albert Falls is more than just a joke. He too is a member of S.E.A. Besides some references to the Adventurers Club in the queue for the ride, the real place you'll find nods to the society is the Skipper Canteen. Not only does the menu feature references, but there is an entire room for S.E.A. members. You can even find a case with fez caps for members such as Henry Mystic, Albert, Mary O'Shaneer, and other members whose stories haven't even been created yet. If you remember the iconic opening scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark, you probably remember Indy's getaway pilot, Jock, with his pet snake, Reggie.
There's a big snake in the plane, Jock! Oh, that's just my pet snake, Reggie! I hate snakes, Jock! I hate them! Come on, show a little backbone, will ya?
While he may not have gotten much screen time, he ended up getting his own Hangar Bar at Disney Springs in 2015. While the many references around the bar to airplanes and the Indiana Jones films were expected, what fans didn't expect was one thing at the beginning of the menu. Themed as Jock's flight log, the first thing you see when you open the menu is the Society of Explorers and Adventurers welcoming a new member, pilot Jock Lindsay. While that is the only reference to S.E.A. that I could find in the bar, it is the first official member from a movie, proving that anyone could be a member, we just don't know it yet. Opening the same day as Disney's MGM Studios in 1989, Pleasure Island was a former nightclub district at the current Disney Springs. Besides containing the previously mentioned S.E.A. tie-in, the Adventurers Club, the entire defunct area has been tied into the society after its closure. At Pleasure Island, you could follow the story of Meriwether Adam Pleasure through various plaques located outside every building, explaining what they previously were and slowly revealing Pleasure's backstory. Pleasure was a sailor who had transformed the area into a place for adventurers from all around the world to come and share discoveries from their quests. While the land may now be no more, you can find his fez cap along with others in the Skipper Canteen. So those are all the main members we currently know, but some additional characters include So there you have it, an entire secret society hidden behind the scenes. Now S.E.A. is still relatively new and their popularity is just starting to pick up at the domestic parks, so you can expect to see more references and tie-ins in future projects, and maybe even one day a whole attraction that joins all the threads together. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.